The basketball addicts are back at it, talking the blockbuster deal that went down that finally freed up your boy Jimmy. Free Jimmy! Jimmy's got moves he's taking to Philadelphia, along with Justin Patton. I don't know. Robert Covington, Dario Saric, and a second-round pick go the other way. Jimmy Butler is in Philly. Randy, are they now the best or the most talented?
Still Boston.
I'm prefacing it as talent in the.
Still Boston.
Yeah? Boston has more talent, top to bottom?
Yeah.
Defend it.
Defend them?
Yeah. Defend your statement, because I feel like.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Is the best player in the East.
Okay, but I feel like you've got three legit studs on that
You
team.
do, absolutely. Okay. And they will compete. They have no bench. They have no bench. And in the playoffs, you have to have a bench to win.
All right, are we all in agreement with Randy here?
I go Boston over Philly.
I'm not saying who's the better team.
No, talent-wise, yeah, because you can stand back at the free. You can stand back at the free throw line and let Markelle or Ben Simmons shoot the ball. Let them shoot all day.
You got Redick, Chandler. You got a lot of depth.
There's a lot of talent.
Okay.
You got Tatum. You got Rozier. You got
Horford. I don't think you need a good bench to win in the playoffs, because I don't think of Golden State's bench. I don't really think of Cleveland's
Kevon
bench.
Looney.
But that's
these teams have been in the
different.
finals.
You're talking about.
He's saying overall talent.
We're trying to win the championship here. You just said you need a good bench to win in the playoffs. If you're going to win the championship, you need the best players. Does Philadelphia have the best players? I don't think so. I think Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the East. I think Giannis is the second best player in the East.
But does that another team have a better amalgamation of talent?
Do I think Philadelphia has the best talent? No. I still think Embiid and Simmons, as great as they are, I don't think they're ready for prime time. Boston handled them easily in the playoffs last year.
No, they didn't handle this team. They did not play this team. They did not play.
Why? Because they have Jimmy Butler?
Wilson Chandler?
Wilson's a big.
Wilson's a huge.
This is the guy. This is the guy that told me Tyson Chandler didn't matter for the Lakers. Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
Automatically.
I don't believe that either.
Again,
no,
take what he's saying
most talented
with
team
a
in the
bag
East
of salt.
Is Toronto.
Bag.
As we proceed,
same as the start of the year.
As we proceed to give you what you need, let's talk about Jimmy Butler. The fact that his reputation as a great player, locker room guy, intense, somehow survived what he did in Minnesota. And how did that happen?
Because he did some badass stuff, and I think it was hilarious when he takes the bench and beats the rest of the starters. I think but that proves that you're an alpha, you're a dog.
But how does he keep his good name when other guys have done less and walked away as damaged goods, locker room killers?
I'm not defending him in that sense. I think it's just hilarious. But he going to Philly will be able to guide this young team because, like I said, Fultz is, he's got no confidence. Ben's got no confidence. I mean, they've got the confidence, but not like that. Not what he's got.
Yeah.
And he's going to be able to give these guys an edge and a chip. And they look at someone like that, or
deteriorate them.
Well, or like Kobe or Jordan, and right?
Okay, so I want to get your thoughts on this, Randy, because you're very familiar with the AAU scene. There's an argument right now that when Jimmy gets there, there's going to be a problem at practice because Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid have kind of set a standard with the Philadelphia 76ers that practice isn't something that they really take on, whereas Jimmy's more of the Michael Jordan mold where he might tell you something about yourself you don't like just to motivate you to play part in practice. Is that going to be an issue, or do you think the culture that they'll rise to the occasion of Jimmy Butler arriving?
I think they'll rise.
Yeah?
I think they'll rise. Just because Joel, whatever you guys want to call him.
I call him Troel because he's such a good troll. But go on.
Like that. Ben, they want to win. And if Jimmy's going to help them win, I don't see them giving him a hard time. And
so Wiggins and Kat didn't want to win?
I don't know if they wanted to win as bad.
It's a very similar situation. You could make the argument that Wiggins and Kat are even a little bit more advanced than Embiid and Simmons at this point in their careers. So something didn't go right in Minnesota. Why is it going to go right in Philadelphia?
I would argue that because Simmons and Embiid got themselves into the playoff picture without anybody else. So obviously, to me, I would think they are hungrier.
I agree with what you're saying about Kat and Wiggins, but I think because they're fresher, Ben and Joel, I feel like they will take a little more.
Really? Why? Because they're a year less in the league?
Yeah, because like I said, they're hungrier. I feel like they're not
more. They're winners, I think.
You're basically saying they're better players than Kat and Wiggins. So, and that's really what. That's really
I'm
what
just saying it's fresh to them. They haven't hung out with Butler for 3 years. You know what I mean? This is fresh to them.
Last year was Butler's first year there.
Okay,
it was in 1 year that this happened.
True. That's true.
Let me throw something else.
That's fair.
Let me throw something else for the Wolves to chew on. Whose team is this going to be now? Will Joel Embiid allow?
Joel's.
It's Joel's team.
It's still Joel's team.
Really?
Phil Jackson. I don't see that changing. I think part of the problem in Minnesota was you didn't know whose team it was. I know Andrew was supposed to be the alpha, and you were kind of waiting for him to step up into that role. Cat showed flashes, and then there's games where I've been to games and I've heard DeMarcus Cousins yell at him like, "Hey, tell him to guard me." He wouldn't guard DeMarcus Cousins. So it's like, who's gonna be the guy?
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna disagree with you. You feel it's gonna be Joel because I think he's more than a generational
Well,
player.
even if you look at the first game, which was tonight, about it, you know, he got the triple-double. He shot, I think, 8 more shots than Jimmy, but I mean, it's just the start of it. So
yes, it's only just
I still
begun.
think it's JoJo's
just
team.
Just like
though.
we have only just begun. Because guess what? We got to talk about next. The Oakland Warriors, as I'm calling them right now, they're falling apart. I mean, I don't rate that guy, Easy Snake Sniper or whatever they're calling him, but I love Draymond for this. Help!